In this video, we are continuing with factorizing trinomials. In the previous video, we had a look at factorizing a trinomial where the coefficient of x squared, the a value, was 1. Next, we're going to see what happens if that a value is not 1 anymore. In example 1, we now have an a value of 5. Before we get to factorizing this trinomial, let's quickly recap what happens when we multiply out two binomials. When we multiply the first term in each bracket, we'll get the ax squared value, which in this case will be 6x squared. The product of the last two terms in each bracket will give us the constant or the c value, and in this case that's 15. And when we focus on the middle term consists of two products that we add up. This will be the furthest two, giving us 10x, as well as the closest two's product, which is 9x. This means that the coefficient of x, the 19, is formed by combining the factors of 6, the original 2 and 3, as well as 15, the original 3 and 5. And that is why when we go back to our example and we need to form the middle term of 14x, we need to take into account the factors of 5x squared as well as the factors of 8. Next, we'll have to try our different pairs of products when added up will give us the 14x. We can, for example, say 1x times 8, which will give 8x, and 5x times 1, which will be 5x, and when added up here we get 13x, which means this is not the correct combination. Another option is 1x times 4, giving us 4x, and 5x times 2, which is 10x, and when added up here we do get a 14x. Next, when writing down the actual factorization, you need to remember that these products that we formed are the product of the furthest pair and the closest pair in our brackets. 4x was formed by saying 1x multiplied by 4, and if I go and write 1x in my first bracket, this will be my outer product, and then the plus 4 will have to be all the way on the other side. The plus 10x was formed by multiplying 5x with 2. This will form our inner product, and it is important to know that the pair of x's, 1x and 5x, can never be in the same bracket. So 5x is in my second bracket and has to be multiplied by 2, so plus 2 will be in my first bracket. And here we have factorized the trinomial. In example 2, we once again have an a value that is not equal to 1. Now 6x squared's factors should also be taken into account. So again, I'm going to start off by writing down the possible pairs of factors for 6x squared, as well as the possible pairs of factors for minus 10. Remember that minus 10 is formed by multiplying two opposite signs, and that means that one of the two factors should be a negative value. And now, patiently, we need to find the correct pair of products. For example, we can say 1x times minus 10 to get minus 10x, and the other pair of products will then be 6x times 1, which means we'll add 6x to end up with minus 4x. So this is the wrong option. Another option of pairs can be 2x times minus 10 to give us minus 20x, along with 3x times 1, which is plus 3x. This will add up to minus 17x, which is still not our middle term. So clearly you can see that there are many different options of products to add up. If you patiently try out all of them, you will find the correct one. And the more you practice this, the easier it will get to identify that correct combination of products. In our case, the correct combination is 2x times 2, which gives us 4x, and 3x times minus 5, which will give us minus 15x, and when added up, we will end with minus 11x, which is our middle term. So to finalize this factorization, I'm going to start with the 2x times 2, and if I write 2x first, it is part of the outer product, so plus 2 should go right at the end. Our second pair will be 3x times minus 5, and 3x goes in our second bracket, which is part of our inner combination, and then it is multiplied by minus 5. If you want to test your answer, you can still multiply the lasts in each bracket to form your C value, and here that is minus 10. To test our first term, our ax squared, we multiply the first in each bracket, and here that will give us 6x squared, which does have our a value in it. Lastly, to test our middle term, it will be the inner and the outer combinations added up to give our middle term. Our inner product is minus 15x, and our outer product will be 4x, which added up does give us minus 11x.